Then it was discovered because it came close to Earth. It was not discovered because it was interstellar. That was not the reason. It just came close to Earth, within a sixth of the Earth-Sun separation. And they flagged it in Hawaii as a near-Earth object that is worth their attention, because the entire survey was geared around finding objects that can threaten humanity. If they collide with Earth, there would be a huge devastation. We know the dinosaurs died 66 million years ago. Yep. We are smarter than they are. We have telescopes. They didn't look up, and they died. So humans have a better future because we can alert ourselves. So there was this telescope looking, and then this object was found. That was a surprise to me. We didn't expect rocks, based on what we know about the solar system, coming from other stars. So I said, what is this? And then the people who discovered Oumuamua started reporting about unusual properties of it. Even in the first discovery paper, it was said that it's most likely flat in its shape, which is quite unusual, and has a very extreme shape because the amount of sunlight reflected from it changed by a factor of 10 as it was tumbling. And that's unusual. At most, you see a factor of 3 when you have an elongated object. But here, just think about a piece of paper tumbling in the wind, and the chance of it lining up with your view such that you see just the thin, like razor-thin edge of it is very small. So if you see a variation by a factor of 10 in the area projected on the sky, that means it's really thin. It's very unusual. And so that was the first thing that was unusual about it. And then it was pushed away from the sun by some mysterious force without showing any cometary evaporation, no rocket effect to push it. The question is, what was pushing it? The only thing I could think of, given that there was no gas or dust evaporated from it, and you really needed 10% of the mass of the object to get evaporated in order to push it by a strong enough force, the way we see in comets. There was clearly no such gas that we are familiar with in the case of comets. So I said, maybe it's just the reflection of sunlight, which is pushing it. And for that, the object had to be very thin, like a sail, or like a surface of a spaceship that was ripped apart, and you just see the surface being pushed by reflecting sunlight. And amazingly, 3 years later, in September 2020, there was another object discovered by the same telescope in Hawaii called 2020 SO. It was also pushed by reflection of sunlight. That was verified, and moreover had no cometary evaporation. And after a few weeks, the astronomers said, oh, this one is actually a rocket booster that NASA launched in 1966. It's just the shell of a lunar mission. And because of that, it had a very thin wall and a large surface area.